Welcome back, my YouTube family. In today's video, I'm excited about giving you all a tour of my man cave. Now, this room is packed. I mean, packed with wires and equipment and technology, but I absolutely love this type of stuff. My main purpose is VR, flight simming in the DOF Reality H3 along with the Quest 3 headset. But I do have some things that I've actually added to this sim rig hookup that I'll go over. I'll also go over some of the routing, audio and the video routing, and my method of recording. So stick around. Hope you enjoy this video. Hey. So starting off on the left side of the room, I have my Motif ES8, and I've had this keyboard for years. Probably got it when it first came out, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, something like that. Also have the Phantom X6, same thing, got that keyboard when it kind of like first came out. It's when I was really heavy into producing and engineering. I also have a Native Instrument machine that I use to make beats with as well. Next, I got a couple of baskets with commonly used cables, couple of hanging shelves that has my RC helicopters, joysticks, remote control, old holder setup, little knickknacks. It's a very, just a handy shelf to have. And this router here is dedicated strictly to the Quest 3 as an access point. It's an Asus, I think it's an RT AX55 if I'm not mistaken, but it's strictly dedicated for AirLink for the Quest 3 and also a virtual desktop. Next, we have our PC, which is custom built. You can check that video out here on the screen. But this is a monster. It has an RTX 4090 in it, an i9 13th Gen, along with 32 gigs of 6400 DDR5. So it's definitely a beast. Coming on down, I have a DBX 160 compressor. Now that's for audio. When I'm recording vocals, I can just adjust them right there, the compressor. I have three 27-inch widescreen curved monitors, and then my speakers are Yamaha HS5s, Stream Deck 32 button. I use this thing for all type of stuff, for video editing, music editing, shortcuts, macros, whatever. It's very versatile. Moving on, we got the Razer Bungee. That's the Chroma version, V3. And then you also have the Razer Bosilic V3, I believe. That's the mouse. I love the mouse. It's pretty good. I used this Logitech G9X for years, and I love this mouse, but it just kind of got long in the tooth. The Steel Series, I could probably use another mouse pad, but it still works very good. And as far as the desktop itself, I do have some splitters for my monitors that goes to my video matrix. Two splitters for the left monitor. So whatever shown on the left monitor can show my video splitter. Same thing with the middle monitor and then the right monitor. And then I can also use this switcher here to switch from the primary outs of my video mixer that would show on this particular monitor here if I'm not in front of my game rig. My primary keyboard is the Corsair K70 MK2. It's a mechanical keyboard. It's pretty cool. I like it. I don't really mess around with the RGB too much, but it's a nice feeling keyboard. Really don't have any complaints. And down at the bottom, we got our spaghetti mess going on. We have the Samsung SmartThings Hub, the V2, and then we have a Zeus power strip. It holds 5 addressable outlets. Basically, you can, tell your voice command or your house controls to turn on or off a switch. So I got my speakers on there. I have my keyboard, subwoofer, chair amp, and then my studio compressor. So all of those things can be turned off virtually, as well as all of the devices that you see here on screen. I can either control these via automations or through a tablet or even voice command. I abandoned using regular sound cards a long time ago. I typically use some type of audio interface. With this one, it's an Allen & Heath Z10FX, which is an analog mixer. But it also has USB 2-channel in and USB 2-channel out to my computer, my PC. That allows me to connect anything I want, mics, guitars, bass, it don't matter, to this mixer, and I can record into the computer or I can monitor out. Also, I have out of the headphone jack into an audio in of the audio mixer. That way I can record my PC audio along with my vocals, and then I can split this. It's just a lot that I can do. I got to run into the compressor. A lot you could do with a mixer versus a traditional sound card. I also have a 12-inch Clips subwoofer that's again connected to that PC audio 2-channel. It sounds amazing in this room. These little Yamaha speakers along with this subwoofer is just, it really is magical. You notice here on the floor I have a subwoofer amp which I use for my bass shakers on my chair and also my flight rig. Next we have the portable AC. The condensate water goes into that bucket there, which I need to change. And then here in the window I have the where it blows outside. I can cool this room off with all this equipment in here. It gets hot in here relatively quick. Moving on to the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. This thing is amazing. It allows me to basically have 8 HDMI inputs with like all type of output configurations. Again, we talked about this monitor being able to quickly switch over to what my cameras are showing. So I have a camera there on my head. Then I have an overhead camera. I have camera for my feet. That's the main monitor, secondary monitor. So, you know, I'm just pressing these buttons here and switching over relatively quickly to either one of those. It's pretty amazing. This is my main recording setup, and I haven't got good at it yet. I still have to get good at trying to get the green screen. It's a whole little thing that I'm trying out, but we'll see how that works out. When I need to be mic'd up, I'm typically going to be using the Corsair Void RGB headphones. They're pretty decent. They 7.1 surround sound. You can quickly pull this mic down to turn on and off the mic. If I'm not using those, I'm typically using these Audio-Technicas ATH M50Xs. These sound so much better than these, and I'm typically always using headphones when I'm gaming. So that's half the room. And next up we have our H3 motion platform. Now, the reason why it's H3 is because it does 3 degrees of freedom. It does a pitch, which is sort of like this. It does a roll, which is sort of like this. And then it also does a yaw, which is sort of like that. So if we had the other 3 degrees of freedom, you will have a heave, which is a up and down. You will have a sway, which is sort of like a left to right type of deal. And then you will have a surge, which is a jump you from front to back. So this particular platform just does the 3, which is the pitch, roll, and yaw. It's a great frame and great setup. As far as peripherals, I am running the WinWing Hodis Orion 2 Max. It comes with the F15 stick along with the rumble pack, dual throttle for the F18 style throttle section. This is so cool. I mean, if you're on the fence about WinWing stuff, don't be. They're so far has been amazing to me. The rudder pedals I'm using are the old Saytech Combat Flight Simulator. They don't even make these anymore. The wheel is a G29 along with the pedal set there and the shifter. Now, I do have an aftermarket shifter on here. It's for semi-truck. It's for American Truck Simulator when we were into that. On the frame itself, I have the motion compensation that will keep you grounded in the plane. The seat is by SimFab. And it has the little notch out in the center there. modifications I made. I put this ledge on there. I guess that's a ledge, so when I get in the sim, I stand on that so I can get in. I also put a piece of wood here to hold the shifter, and then I have the controller X by Razer. That does a lot as far as buttons and things that I push in the game. That's the controller there. You see the USB hub, another USB hub here, iPhone camera to record the pedals. The camera here is a Sony ZV-E10 4K camera with the stock lens. Same thing here for the overhead. I have the Quest 3 along with the controllers that I kind of like made my own little thing there. Now these cameras are permanently wired, so they're wired to the mixer here, and then they're also wired to permanent power. So the only thing I have to do is just turn on the cameras. You can see the screen here. This is my switcher screen. It shows me all of the different camera angles that I have. So I did make one more modification. That bass shaker there, I had to strap a piece of wood there so the shaker can actually shake the frame. It adds a whole nother level to simming. Like, you can feel the gears coming down, you can feel the rumble of the engine, afterburner, all of those things. It's pretty freaking cool. All in all, I would have to say that this sim rig was well worth the purchase. It was rather expensive, but it totally adds to the immersion, in my opinion. So I have a sound bar there whenever I am listening to anything off the TV. I like for the audio to come directly towards me, or I'm listening to it with the headphone. So right now I mostly fly DCS, either P-51, or I fly IL-2, all the World War II planes. I am currently learning the F-18, and so I'll be totally redoing this whole rig. I'll be taking this wheel off because I hardly ever drive, hardly ever. And I'll be building out the hood and also the DDIs for the F-18. So when I'm in the cockpit, I can actually press the corresponding buttons and knobs, and it will feel as if I am in the actual cockpit. So make sure you all come back for that video. So it's be pretty cool. So with all of this stuff hooked up, you know, I turn this on. The seat kind of like calibrates, do its own thing, but it's very capable of holding all the weight. My fat self plus all of the stuff that's on here, I have absolutely no issues. Moving on around, I have my rack of old equipment that was in my studio. I just got a couple of little extra little pieces, mic stands, shock mounts. This is my wall of goodies, an old Riff, old Quest 2, some cameras. And in the closet, it's your typical closet, but I have a whole whole situation here for work. Old steering wheel, just old stuff, computers, whatever. Just a whole mess in here, and that's it. That is the tour. Eventually I want to change out the ceiling fan, maybe put in a tray ceiling, change the wall color, maybe put in a different floor. But all in all, this room, I love this room. It really serves me well. And finally, I'm just going to demonstrate how I get in and out this flight sim again. I have to take this leg and pop it over here onto this ledge that I built. That's one of the hardest things about getting in this flight sim, was that until I built this, it made it a lot easier. Take my leg and pop it up. I'm getting old, so definitely it's getting a little warm in here, 76 degrees. And this is just a wind wing. I don't know what that was. I think it was for the base for the joystick. I took it and mounted it to this, and then I glued a mouse pad on top of it so I can have a nice little mouse pad. I take this, stick it in here, tighten it down. Now we're in here. I'm definitely sweating. It's sweat. I'm hot in here. But anyway, I really appreciate you all sticking around for this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then make sure you subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed, anything that you want to know more about, and also what type of angles or whatever. I'm just trying to figure this whole flight sim thing out so I can make content on that. I'm still into DIYing, but right now this is my thing that I'm doing. So I want to just take you on along the journey with me. But I do need help with what type of content will be interested to the people that watch the channel. So again, I appreciate you all sticking around. Until the next one. Hey.